As the day begins to soften into evening, we find ourselves approaching one of the most magnificent palaces ever created by human hands. The Palace of Versailles rises before us, its golden facades catching the last warm rays of the setting sun. This is a place where history whispers from every stone, where kings once walked, and where beauty has been preserved across the centuries. But tonight, the palace belongs to quiet, to stillness, to peace. The crowds that filled these courtyards throughout the day have slowly dispersed, leaving behind only the gentle sound of water from distant fountains and the soft rustle of leaves in the formal gardens. We arrive at the perfect moment, when the transformation from day to evening begins, when the light turns golden and amber, casting long, peaceful shadows across the gravel paths. There is something deeply calming about arriving at this threshold, standing at the edge of such splendor as the world grows quiet around us. The air is warm and gentle, carrying with it the faint scent of boxwood hedges and ancient stone warmed by the sun. We can take our time here, breathing slowly, observing the way the light changes moment by moment, watching as the palace shifts from the energy of day into the tranquility of night. This is our invitation to step away from the ordinary world and enter a place of extraordinary beauty and profound calm. The iron gates stand open before us, welcoming us into the grand courtyard, and we begin our slow, peaceful approach. There is no need to hurry. Every step we take brings us deeper into this atmosphere of historical serenity, where time seems to move at a different pace, where the weight of the day can gently fall away. The palace waits for us with infinite patience, its windows beginning to glow softly in the fading light, its stones holding the warmth of the sun even as evening approaches. We are here now, present in this moment, ready to experience the quiet majesty of Versailles as few ever have the privilege to witness it. And so we begin our journey, walking slowly across the forecourt, our eyes taking in every beautiful detail, our breath becoming slower and deeper with each passing moment. The palace seems to breathe with us, settling into its evening rhythm, preparing for the peaceful night ahead. This is where our story begins, at the golden hour, at the threshold of beauty, in the gentle transition from day into the serene embrace of twilight. As we cross the outer courtyard, the gravel crunches softly beneath our feet, a gentle, rhythmic sound that seems to echo quietly against the surrounding wings of the palace. The cour d'honneur, the court of honor, opens before us in all its geometric perfection. This vast space, designed to impress visiting dignitaries and nobles, now feels like a sanctuary of calm. The last few visitors are making their way toward the exits, their voices distant and fading, leaving behind a stillness that feels almost sacred. We pause for a moment, allowing ourselves to truly see what stands before us. The central palace building rises 3 stories high, its facade a masterpiece of classical French architecture. Row upon row of tall windows reflect the deepening colors of the sky, gold melting into rose, rose softening into lavender. The mansard roof, covered in dark slate, creates a strong horizontal line against the evening sky, punctuated by ornate dormer windows and chimneys that seem to reach toward the first emerging stars. The symmetry is perfect, balanced, deeply satisfying to observe. Our eyes travel slowly across the stonework, noticing the carved details that adorn every surface, the ornamental wreaths, the classical pilasters, the decorative keystones above each window. Every element has been considered, crafted, placed with intention and artistry. There is something profoundly calming about such order, such attention to beauty. As we stand here in the growing quiet, we can feel the history of this place settling around us like a gentle weight. Kings and queens walked where we now stand. Ambassadors and artists, philosophers and musicians all passed through these courtyards, all looked up at these same facades. But in this moment, the palace is simply here, simply present, offering its beauty without demand or expectation. The fountains we can hear in the distance add a soft, musical quality to the evening air. Water flows continuously, as it has for centuries, creating a sound that is both constant and changing, like a gentle lullaby played on the simplest of instruments. We breathe in slowly, deeply, letting the peace of this place fill us completely. The light continues to change, moment by moment, growing softer and more golden, as if the sun is offering one last gift before slipping below the horizon. The stone walls seem to hold this light, to glow from within, turning warm shades of honey and amber. Shadows lengthen across the courtyard, creating patterns that shift and flow like slow water. There is no rush here, no urgency. We can simply be, simply observe, simply allow ourselves to settle into the rhythm of this place. As we prepare to move closer to the entrance, we notice the way the evening air has begun to cool, just slightly, just enough to be refreshing against our skin. The warmth of the day is giving way to the gentleness of night, and we are here to witness this beautiful transition. We move now across the courtyard, walking slowly, mindfully, toward the central entrance of the palace. With each step, we draw closer to those magnificent golden gates, and our anticipation builds, not with excitement or energy, but with a gentle, peaceful expectancy. We know that beauty awaits us beyond those doors, and we are ready to receive it with open hearts and quiet minds. The forecourt around us continues to empty. A guard in period costume nods pleasantly as he makes his rounds, his footsteps soft and measured. A few birds call to one another from the roofline, settling in for the evening. Otherwise, there is only the sound of our own breathing, slow and steady, and the distant whisper of water from the gardens beyond. As we approach the palace entrance, we begin to notice details that might escape a hurried visitor. The stonework is not uniform. Each block has its own subtle variations in color and texture, creating a living tapestry of cream and gold and pale gray. We can see where centuries of weather have softened certain edges, where rain has traced delicate patterns down the walls, where time itself has left its gentle mark. There is something deeply reassuring about this evidence of age, this proof that beauty can endure. The windows on the ground floor are tall and arched, their panes of glass catching and reflecting the changing light in complex, shifting patterns. In some windows, we can see golden reflections of the sunset. In others, the deepening blue of the evening sky. Each window is like a painting, a small moment of beauty contained within its frame. We allow our gaze to move from one to the next, not analyzing or judging, simply observing, simply being present with what is before us. The main entrance itself is a work of art. Massive doors of dark wood, ornately carved and fitted with gilded hardware that gleams even in the fading light. Above the entrance, classical sculptures pose in elegant arrangements, their forms graceful and serene. These stone figures have stood here for hundreds of years, watching over the comings and goings of countless souls, and they will continue to stand long after we have gone. There is comfort in this continuity, in this sense of something larger and longer lasting than our own brief lives. We pause at the threshold, taking a moment to fully arrive, to let go of whatever we carried with us to this place. The worries of the day, the tasks left undone, the thoughts that chase themselves in circles, all of these can wait outside. Here, on the edge of entering this palace, we give ourselves permission to simply be present, to experience beauty for its own sake, to allow peace to settle over us like a soft blanket. The air is still now, with barely a breeze to disturb the perfect calm. The temperature is ideal, warm enough to be comfortable, cool enough to be refreshing. The light has taken on that particular quality that exists only at this hour, when day and night balance perfectly, when colors seem to deepen and glow from within. We stand in this perfect moment, breathing slowly, feeling the ground solid beneath our feet, knowing that we are exactly where we are meant to be. Soon we will step inside, but for now, we simply appreciate this threshold moment, this pause between outside and inside, between the world we know and the beauty that awaits us. As we stand before the entrance, we turn for a moment to look back across the courtyard we have just crossed, back toward the gardens that stretch beyond the palace gates. From here, we can see the long perspective of paths and fountains extending into the distance, the famous gardens of Versailles beginning to settle into their evening stillness. The geometry of the landscape is clearly visible even as the light fades. The straight pathways lined with carefully trimmed trees, the circular basins of fountains catching the last gleam of daylight, the perfectly maintained hedges that create green walls and corridors throughout the grounds. Everything here speaks to order, harmony, and the human desire to create beauty on a grand scale. The gardens seem to breathe quietly, releasing the warmth they absorbed during the day. We can imagine the thousands of flowers that bloom throughout these grounds in their seasons. The roses and lilies, the exotic plants brought from distant lands to grace these formal beds. Though we cannot see every detail in the gathering dusk, we can sense the life that fills this space. The ancient trees that have stood for generations, the carefully tended lawns, the hidden groves and secret corners where one might sit in solitude and contemplation. The fountains we hear but cannot quite see add their music to the evening, a constant, gentle splashing that has accompanied countless sunset hours. These fountains, with their elaborate sculptures of mythological figures and fantastic creatures, stand quiet now, their waters flowing peacefully, catching the fading light on every ripple and drop. The sound is hypnotic, repetitive in the most soothing way, like rain falling on leaves, like waves lapping at a peaceful shore. We breathe in time with this sound, letting it guide us deeper into relaxation, deeper into the calm that permeates this place. The sky above has transformed into a canvas of soft colors. The gold has faded to peach, the peach is melting into lavender, and at the highest reaches of the sky, the deep blue of evening is beginning to show the first stars. We take a moment to find one of these stars, to focus on its steady light, to appreciate the way the universe continues its ancient patterns above us while we stand here in this place of human creation. Both the palace and the stars speak to something eternal, something that transcends the small concerns of daily life. As we turn back toward the entrance, we notice that lights have begun to appear in some of the palace windows. Soft, warm glows that speak of candles or carefully hidden electric lights designed to mimic the illumination of centuries past. The palace is coming alive in a different way now, preparing for the evening hours, when its beauty takes on a different character, more intimate, more mysterious. We feel privileged to be here at this threshold moment, to experience this transition, to be welcomed into this space as the day gives way to night. Our breathing has become even slower now, even deeper, matching the peaceful rhythm of this place. There is no tension in our bodies, no urgency in our minds. We are simply here, present and peaceful, ready to cross the threshold and enter the palace proper. The door before us seems to invite us in with quiet insistence, promising beauty and tranquility beyond. And so we prepare to step forward, to leave the courtyard behind and enter the gilded world within, carrying with us this sense of calm, this feeling of perfect peace that has settled over us like evening itself. And now, in this final moment before we enter, we allow ourselves one last pause, one last deep breath of the evening air, one last look at the palace facade as it glows in the deepening twilight. The building before us seems timeless, as if it exists outside the ordinary flow of minutes and hours, as if it holds within its walls something eternal and unchanging. The golden light that plays across the stone is fading now, softening, becoming gentler with each passing moment. Soon, the night will fully arrive, and the palace will be transformed again, becoming a place of shadows and soft candlelight, of mystery and quiet grandeur. But right now, in this in-between time, it is simply beautiful, purely, perfectly beautiful. We feel a sense of gratitude rising within us, thankfulness for the opportunity to be here, to witness this, to participate in this evening ritual that the palace has performed for hundreds of years. How many sunsets have these walls witnessed? How many times has the light shifted from gold to lavender to deepest blue across these facades? How many souls have stood where we now stand, feeling what we now feel? The continuity is humbling and comforting all at once. We are part of something larger than ourselves, connected to all those who have come before and all who will come after, joined by our appreciation for beauty, for craftsmanship, for the human ability to create something that endures. The peace we feel now is complete, settling into every part of our being. Our shoulders are relaxed, our breath is slow and steady, our mind is quiet and clear. The concerns that seemed so important earlier have faded away, becoming distant and unimportant in the face of this beauty, this tranquility, this perfect moment of arrival. We are ready now, ready to step inside, ready to explore the wonders that await us beyond these doors, ready to move through gilded chambers and marble halls, ready to experience the palace not as tourists rushing to see everything, but as peaceful visitors who understand that true beauty must be absorbed slowly, mindfully, with reverence and attention. The door before us seems to swing open silently, inviting us inward. Beyond the threshold, we can sense the beginning of our journey through the palace. The grand rooms that flow one into another, the paintings and tapestries, the sculptures and chandeliers, and ultimately, the legendary Hall of Mirrors, where light and reflection create a world of infinite beauty. But we will come to all of that in its own time. For now, we simply place one foot in front of the other, crossing from the courtyard into the palace itself, from the open air into the enclosed grandeur, from the fading natural light into the warm glow of carefully placed illumination. We step inside slowly, reverently, carrying with us the peace we found in the courtyard, the calm we absorbed from the evening air, the sense of wonder that has been growing within us since we first caught sight of the palace glowing in the sunset. Inside, new beauty awaits, beauty that will guide us deeper into relaxation, deeper into peace, deeper into the restorative power of quiet contemplation. We are here now, fully present, fully calm, ready to continue our journey through this magnificent palace as evening settles completely over the grounds and the night begins its gentle watch. And so we step forward, crossing the threshold from the quiet courtyard into the palace itself, where the evening light has given way to the soft golden glow of candlelight. The air inside is different, warmer, stiller, carrying with it the faint scent of beeswax and aged wood, of centuries preserved in silence. Our footsteps, though light, echo gently against marble floors, a rhythm that becomes part of the palace's own heartbeat, steady and calm. We have entered the king's grand apartment, a series of rooms that once witnessed the daily rituals of Louis XIV, the Sun King, and now they witness only us, moving slowly, reverently, through their gilded splendor. The first chamber we encounter is the Salon of Abundance, and immediately we are surrounded by richness, not overwhelming, but enveloping, like a warm embrace. The walls are paneled in deep, lustrous wood, carved with intricate flourishes that catch the candlelight and cast gentle shadows. Above us, the ceiling is painted with scenes of prosperity and plenty, figures floating in celestial blues and soft golds, their forms barely visible in the dim evening light, like dreams half remembered. There are cabinets along the walls, their surfaces inlaid with precious materials, mother of pearl, tortoiseshell, gilt bronze, each one a masterpiece of craftsmanship, each one reflecting the dancing candle flames in its polished surfaces. We pause here, allowing our eyes to adjust, allowing our breath to deepen and slow. There is no hurry in this place. Time has a different quality here, stretched and softened, as though the palace itself has learned the art of patience over its many centuries. The candlelight flickers gently, creating a living quality to the room, as though the walls themselves are breathing, slowly, peacefully, in rhythm with our own breath. We notice the velvet curtains, heavy and rich, drawn partially across the tall windows, their deep crimson color muted in the low light to something softer, like aged wine or dried rose petals. Everything here speaks of abundance, yes, but also of rest, of the quiet that comes after the day's exertions, when luxury becomes not a display but a comfort, a place to simply be. We feel ourselves settling into this atmosphere, our shoulders relaxing, our thoughts beginning to drift like the painted clouds on the ceiling above, aimless and serene. The salon invites us deeper, toward the doorway that leads to the next chamber, and we move forward slowly, carrying this sense of peaceful abundance with us. We pass through the doorway, and the atmosphere shifts subtly as we enter the Salon of Venus, named for the goddess whose image graces the room. Here, the ceiling opens up into a magnificent painted dome, and even in the low light, we can make out the figure of Venus herself, reclining among clouds, surrounded by cherubs and flowers, her form rendered in soft pinks and creamy whites that seem to glow faintly in the darkness. The walls of this salon are covered in marble, not cold, but warm in tone, veined with gold and amber, polished to a gentle sheen that reflects the candlelight in soft, diffused patterns. There are columns here too, standing at intervals around the room, their surfaces smooth and cool, their presence lending a sense of classical harmony to the space. Between the columns, we see large paintings in ornate gilt frames, their subjects barely visible but their presence felt, portraits of royalty perhaps, or mythological scenes, stories frozen in time. watching over the empty room with patient silence. The floor beneath our feet is a work of art in itself, an intricate pattern of inlaid wood and marble, geometric designs that draw the eye inward toward the center of the room, toward a place of balance and calm. We walk slowly across this floor, feeling the smoothness beneath us, the solidity, the sense that we are walking on history itself, on surfaces that have supported the weight of kings and queens, of courtiers and dignitaries, and now support us in our quiet nighttime wandering. There is a statue in an alcove, barely visible in the shadows, perhaps Venus again, or one of her attendants, the marble figure serene and timeless, her expression one of eternal peace. We pause beside her, feeling that same peace beginning to settle within us, a stillness that goes deeper than the physical, touching something essential and quiet at our core. The candlelight here seems even softer than in the previous room, as though the Salon of Venus demands a gentler illumination, a light that flatters and soothes rather than reveals. We notice the way the light plays across the marble, creating subtle gradations of shadow and warmth, a constant, gentle movement that is almost hypnotic in its rhythm. Our breathing has slowed further, matching the pace of the flickering flames, and we feel a deepening sense of relaxation spreading through our body, from our head down through our shoulders, our chest, our limbs, all the way to our feet on this beautiful floor. There is nothing to do here but observe, to breathe, to allow the beauty and tranquility of the Salon of Venus to work its quiet magic upon us. And when we are ready, when the room has given us all it has to offer in this moment, we turn toward the next doorway, where another chamber awaits. The next room welcomes us with a different energy, still calm, still peaceful, but with a subtle shift towards something more contemplative. This is the Salon of Diana, dedicated to the goddess of the hunt and the moon, and appropriately, there is something lunar about the quality of light here. The candles seem fewer, their glow more scattered, creating pools of gentle illumination separated by soft shadows. The ceiling painting depicts Diana herself, surrounded by hunting dogs and forest scenes, all rendered in silvery blues and pale greens, colors that evoke moonlight filtering through leaves, the quiet of the forest at night. The walls here are hung with rich tapestries, their woven surfaces depicting scenes of the hunt. Riders on horseback, deer leaping through glades, hounds in pursuit. But these scenes, rather than feeling energetic or violent, have a dreamlike quality in the low light, the figures moving slowly in our imagination, as though through water or through memory. The tapestries absorb the sound, making this room even quieter than the last, the silence here almost tangible, a presence in itself. We can feel it settling around us like a soft blanket, muffling any remaining echoes of the outside world, drawing us further inward, further into this tranquil exploration. There is a billiard table in the center of this salon, its green baize surface smooth and inviting, though we know it has not been used in many years. It sits there like a patient memory, waiting for players who will never return, and there is something beautiful in that patience, in the way the palace preserves these objects, these moments, without insisting upon them. We circle the table slowly, our hand perhaps trailing along its edge, feeling the solid wood frame, cool and smooth. Along one wall, there are tall windows, their curtains drawn back slightly, and through the glass we can see the faintest hint of the gardens beyond, shapes and shadows in the darkness, the suggestion of statues and hedges under the night sky. But we are not ready to go outside yet. There is still more to discover within these walls. The Salon of Diana holds us gently in its quiet embrace, and we allow ourselves to sink deeper into the meditative state that has been building since we first entered the palace. Our thoughts are becoming softer, less distinct, like the figures in the tapestries, like the painted scenes on the ceiling, present but not insistent, drifting past without demanding our attention. We are simply here, simply breathing, simply moving through these beautiful spaces with no purpose other than to witness them, to allow them to witness us in return. The moonlight quality of this room seems to seep into our consciousness, cooling and calming, preparing us for the deeper peace that awaits in the chambers ahead. We continue our slow progression through the grand apartment, passing from the Salon of Diana into a connecting space, a smaller antechamber that serves as a gentle transition between the larger rooms. Here, the walls are covered in silk damask, the fabric glowing softly in the candlelight, its subtle patterns of flowers and leaves barely visible, like secrets whispered in the dark. There is an intimacy to this smaller space, a feeling of being held, protected, as we move through it. The ceiling is lower here, more immediate. Painted with delicate arabesques in gold and white, decorative patterns that please the eye without demanding focus, perfect for this state of deep relaxation we have entered. We notice how our footsteps have become even softer, how we move almost without sound now, as though we have learned the language of the palace, the way to inhabit these spaces without disturbing their essential quiet. Through another doorway, we emerge into the Salon of Mars, and here the atmosphere takes on a richer, warmer quality. This salon was dedicated to the god of war, but there is nothing harsh about it now, only the accumulated beauty of centuries, softened by time and darkness into something profoundly peaceful. The walls are hung with deep red velvet, the color of garnets or embers, and against this rich background, we see more paintings, more gilt frames catching the light, more stories told in oils and canvas. The frames themselves are works of art, carved with such intricacy that we could spend hours tracing their patterns, following the curves and flourishes of their design. But we do not need to analyze or study. We simply let our gaze drift across these surfaces, absorbing their beauty in a gentle, unfocused way. There is a large fireplace in this room, its hearth cold now, but still magnificent, framed by carved marble and topped with an enormous mirror that doubles the room's depth, creating an illusion of space extending far beyond the physical walls. The mirror reflects the candlelight, multiplying those gentle flames, creating a sense of warmth and life, even in the emptiness. We stand before this mirror for a moment, seeing ourselves dimly reflected in its aged glass, part of the room now, part of the palace's long history of visitors and inhabitants. And there is something comforting in that continuity, in the knowledge that we are just one more moment in the endless stream of moments this place has witnessed. The Salon of Mars invites us to pause, to rest here in its warm embrace before continuing onward. We might lower ourselves onto a velvet-cushioned bench or simply stand in the center of the room, feeling the space around us, feeling the deep, restful quiet that has become our constant companion. Our breathing is slow and easy, our body relaxed, our mind calm and clear. There is nowhere else we need to be, nothing else we need to do. We are exactly where we should be, moving through this palace at the perfect pace, allowing each room to offer its gifts of beauty and tranquility before we move on to the next. As we prepare to move beyond the Salon of Mars, we find ourselves in one final chamber of the grand apartment, the Salon of Mercury, which once served as the king's bedchamber, the most intimate of the staterooms, the place where the elaborate ritual of the royal rising and retiring took place before courtiers and attendants. But now, in the quiet of evening, with only candlelight to illuminate the space, it has become something else entirely, a sanctuary of rest, a place that invites us to embrace the very idea of sleep and restoration. The walls here are covered in brocade, patterns of gold thread woven into silk, creating a surface that seems to shimmer and shift as we move past it, as though the walls themselves are breathing, gently, peacefully, in rhythm with our own breath. The bed, though it may be roped off now, preserved behind barriers, is still magnificent, a grand four-poster creation draped in heavy fabrics, curtains that would have closed to create a room within a room, a private world of rest and dreaming. Even from a distance, we can imagine the softness of those pillows, the weight of those blankets, the profound sense of security and comfort that this bed represented. Above it, the ceiling is painted with Mercury himself, the messenger god, floating in a sky of deep twilight blue, surrounded by stars and clouds, and we find ourselves gazing up at those stars, feeling them connect with our own drowsy consciousness, feeling that we too are floating, gently, peacefully, in that same twilight realm between waking and sleep. The candles in this room are almost exhausted now, their flames lower, their light softer than ever, creating a dimness that feels appropriate, necessary, perfect for this moment in our journey. We are no longer simply observing the palace, we are becoming part of it, settling into its rhythms, its ancient patterns of day and night, activity and rest. The Salon of Mercury acknowledges this transition, honors it, and invites us to continue forward with the understanding that we are moving toward something profound, toward the Hall of Mirrors, yes, but also toward a deeper state of peace and relaxation than we have yet experienced. We take a long, slow breath here in this chamber of rest, feeling our body heavy and comfortable, our mind quiet and receptive. The golden brocade walls seem to wrap around us like a warm embrace, and the painted stars on the ceiling above the bed seem to wink and shimmer, guiding us gently, peacefully, toward the next phase of our journey. When we turn toward the doorway that leads onward, we carry with us the essence of all these rooms, the abundance, the beauty, the tranquility, the warmth, all of it combining into a deep sense of well-being, a feeling that we are exactly where we need to be, moving at exactly the right pace, sinking deeper and deeper into this restorative experience. The Hall of Mirrors awaits us, just ahead, but we are in no hurry. We will arrive when we arrive, and until then, we continue to move through these magnificent spaces with gratitude and peace, allowing the palace to guide us deeper into relaxation, deeper into calm, deeper into the perfect stillness of this quiet night. And now, we arrive. The Hall of Mirrors opens before us like a vision from another world, a gallery of light and reflection that stretches into what seems like infinity. We pause at the threshold, allowing our eyes to adjust to the extraordinary beauty that fills this legendary space. 357 mirrors line the western wall, each one framed in gilded arches, each one catching and multiplying the gentle glow of candlelight from the chandeliers above. Across from the mirrors, 17 arcade windows rise tall and graceful, and through their glass panes, moonlight streams in with a soft, silvery luminescence that mingles with the warmer tones of the flickering candles. The effect is magical, dreamlike, as if we have stepped into a realm where time moves differently, where the air itself seems to shimmer with reflected light. We take our first steps onto the polished parquet floor, and the wood beneath our feet gleams with the patina of centuries. The geometric patterns of the flooring, diamonds and squares of rich oak and lighter woods, create a pathway that draws us forward, slowly, gently, into the heart of this magnificent hall. There is no rush. There never has been. We move with the quiet reverence this space deserves, our footsteps silent, our breathing slow and steady. Above us, the vaulted ceiling soars, painted with scenes of triumph and glory. But from here, in this gentle light, they appear softened, dreamlike, as though the painted figures themselves are drifting into peaceful rest. The Hall of Mirrors is nearly 240 feet long, and yet it does not feel overwhelming. Instead, it feels embracing, welcoming, as though the space itself is wrapping around us with warmth and serenity. We continue forward, step by quiet step, observing how each mirror reflects not just the light from the chandeliers and windows, but also reflects other mirrors, creating an endless cascade of reflections that seem to multiply into infinity. Light upon light, reflection upon reflection, beauty layered upon beauty. It is mesmerizing in the gentlest possible way, like watching moonlight dance on calm water. We are surrounded by elegance, by history, by artistry that has endured for centuries. And yet all of it feels soft now, peaceful, as though the hall has transformed from a place of grandeur into a sanctuary of rest. We walk slowly along the center of the hall, midway between the mirrors and the windows, and we can turn our head either way to absorb the beauty. To our left, the mirrors create a wall of shimmering light, each surface perfectly smooth, perfectly clear, capturing every flicker of flame, every beam of moonlight. To our right, the windows reveal the night beyond, the gardens lying still and silent under the stars, the distant fountains at rest, the pathways empty and peaceful. And here, in this space between reflection and reality, between past and present, we find ourselves settling into a profound calm, a tranquility that seems to flow from the very walls, the very air, the very light that surrounds us. The Hall of Mirrors holds us gently, and we surrender to its beauty, to its peace, to the soft, endless reflections that carry us deeper into relaxation, deeper into stillness, deeper into the quiet magic of this extraordinary night. We continue our slow journey through the Hall of Mirrors, and with each step, we notice more details, more layers of beauty that reveal themselves in the gentle light. The chandeliers above us, are magnificent creations of crystal and gilded bronze, each one holding dozens of candles that burn with steady, peaceful flames. The light they cast is warm and golden, nothing harsh, nothing bright, just a soft glow that seems to breathe with its own gentle rhythm. The crystals catch this light and scatter it into countless tiny prisms, sending delicate sparkles across the ceiling, across the mirrors, across the painted surfaces that surround us. It is like being inside a jewel box, but one designed for serenity rather than spectacle. We turn our attention to the mirrors themselves, these 357 reflective surfaces that have witnessed so much history. Each mirror is beveled at the edges, creating subtle prismatic effects where the light touches. The frames are elaborate compositions of gilded wood, carved with flowing acanthus leaves, with garlands of flowers, with delicate scrollwork that speaks of the incredible craftsmanship of the artisans who created them. In the 17th century, mirrors of this size and quality were among the most precious objects in the world, more valuable than paintings, more prized than gold. And here, hundreds of them have been assembled to create this extraordinary gallery, this temple of light and reflection. We pause beside one of the marble pilasters that punctuate the rhythm of the hall, and we reach out, almost instinctively, to touch the cool, smooth stone. The marble is a rich, red-orange with white veining that runs through it like rivers on an ancient map. The surface is cool against our fingertips, grounding us, connecting us to the physical reality of this place, even as the reflections all around create an atmosphere of dreamlike unreality. Above the pilaster, a gilded capital gleams softly, its Corinthian leaves catching the candlelight. Everything here is designed to elevate, to inspire, to create a sense of wonder, and yet tonight, in this quiet emptiness, all of that grandeur translates into something more intimate, a sense of being held by beauty, cradled by artistry, surrounded by peace. We look up at the ceiling, at the painted scenes that stretch the length of the hall. These are the works of Charles Le Brun, the great painter of Louis XIV's court, and they depict the military and diplomatic victories of the Sun King's reign. But from here, in this soft light, the battles seem distant, the triumphs gentle, as though even these scenes of power have been transformed by time into something softer, something more like stories told before sleep. The colors are still vibrant, deep blues and rich reds, golds and greens, but they glow rather than shout. They soothe rather than excite. The painted sky above the scenes is filled with clouds and classical figures, gods and goddesses drifting through celestial realms, and they seem to float peacefully, eternally suspended in their mythological heaven. We lower our gaze back to the hall itself, to the endless reflections that surround us, and we continue walking, slowly, peacefully, allowing the Hall of Mirrors to work its gentle magic upon us, drawing us further into its serene embrace, further into the calm that fills every corner, every surface, every reflected beam of light. We have reached the heart of the Hall of Mirrors now, the midpoint of this extraordinary gallery, and here we pause, turning slowly in place to take in the full magnificence of the space. In every direction, light and reflection create an infinite world of beauty. When we face the mirrors, we see not just our own reflection, but reflections of reflections. The chandeliers repeated dozens of times, the windows visible in the mirrored surfaces, showing us multiple versions of the moonlit night beyond, the painted ceiling reflected in the polished floor, the floor reflected in the ceiling, everything connected, everything flowing into everything else. It is hypnotic in the most peaceful way, like watching patterns form and dissolve in a kaleidoscope, like observing the gentle movement of clouds across a summer sky. There is no effort required to appreciate this beauty. We simply stand here, breathing slowly, allowing our eyes to wander where they will, allowing the light to wash over us, through us, filling us with its gentle radiance. Across the hall, the 17 arcade windows stand like silent sentinels, each one divided into rectangular panes that frame the darkness outside. Through them, we can see glimpses of the night, the stars scattered across the deep blue-black sky, the darker silhouettes of the gardens below, the faint gleam of moonlight on distant pathways. The windows themselves are framed in white painted wood and gilded details, and between each window, pilasters rise to support the arched ceiling above. The repetition of these architectural elements creates a soothing rhythm. Mirror, pilaster, window, pilaster, window, on and on down the length of the hall, a visual pattern that the eye can follow endlessly, finding comfort in the regularity, in the balance, in the perfect symmetry of it all. We begin walking again, even more slowly now, our pace matching the peaceful rhythm of our breathing. There is a profound silence in the Hall of Mirrors tonight. No footsteps but our own, no voices, no music, just the occasional soft creak of old wood settling, the barely audible flicker of candle flames, the whisper of our own breath. This silence is not empty, though. It is full of presence, full of history, full of the accumulated weight of centuries. We can almost feel the ghosts of the past moving through this space with us, not in any frightening way, but as gentle companions. The courtiers who once promenaded here in their silks and satins, the musicians who played for grand celebrations, the ambassadors who walked this hall in awe, the servants who maintained its beauty with quiet dedication. All of them are part of this place, woven into its very fabric, and their presence now feels like a blessing, like the warm embrace of ancestors welcoming us into the family home. We pass another chandelier, looking up at it as we go. The light it casts creates a pool of golden warmth directly beneath it, and as we move through this light, we feel bathed in it, blessed by it, as though we are walking through sunshine, even here in the depth of night. The crystals tinkle ever so softly, moved by air currents so subtle we cannot even feel them, and the sound is like distant wind chimes, like the gentlest of lullabies played on glass instruments. Everything in the Hall of Mirrors conspires toward peace, toward rest, toward the deep, restorative calm that comes from being surrounded by beauty, held by history, embraced by a silence that speaks more eloquently than any words. We continue forward, drawn gently along by the beauty that surrounds us, and we notice how the light shifts and changes as we move through the hall. Where the moonlight from the windows intersects with the candlelight from the chandeliers, there is a blending of cool silver and warm gold, creating a luminescence that is neither one nor the other, but something entirely its own, a soft, peachy glow that seems to emanate from the very air itself. This light touches everything with equal tenderness. The gilded frames, the marble pilasters, the painted ceiling, the polished floor, rendering all of it in tones that are muted and gentle, perfect for this quiet hour. We move closer to the window wall now, approaching one of the 17 arcade windows to look out at the night. Through the glass, we can see the western facade of the palace gardens, spread out below us like a tapestry woven from shadow and moonlight. The geometric patterns of the pathways and hedges are visible even in darkness, their shapes defined by the contrast between the pale gravel paths and the darker vegetation. In the distance, we can see the silhouette of the Grand Canal, that long straight line of water that stretches toward the horizon, reflecting the sky like a mirror itself. Everything out there is still, perfectly still, as though the entire world has paused to take a breath, to rest, to sleep. We turn back to the interior of the hall, to the mirrors that line the opposite wall, and from this position near the windows, we can see ourselves reflected there, small figures in a vast space, surrounded by light and beauty. But the reflection also shows us the windows behind us, and the reflection of the windows shows the night sky, and the reflection of the night sky in the mirrors seems to bring the stars inside, creating a space where interior and exterior, earth and heaven, reality and reflection all merge into one seamless, peaceful whole. We walk along parallel to the windows now, trailing our fingertips along the cool glass as we pass each pane. The glass is old, handmade, and if we look closely, we can see tiny imperfections, subtle waves and ripples that create gentle distortions in the view beyond. These imperfections are not flaws, but rather marks of authenticity, evidence of the human hands that crafted each pane centuries ago. There is something deeply comforting about these small irregularities, these gentle reminders that even in a palace of such overwhelming perfection, humanity is present, the touch of makers and craftspeople who poured their skill and care into every element of this extraordinary place. Above us, the painted ceiling continues its narrative of victories and triumphs. But here, above the windows, the scenes include allegorical figures representing peace, prosperity, and the arts, gentler themes that speak to the cultural achievements of Louis XIV's reign rather than his military conquests. We see painted figures holding scrolls and musical instruments, crowning each other with laurel wreaths, gesturing toward the heavens in poses of graceful reverence. The colors here seem even softer, the figures even more peaceful, as though they too are settling into the tranquility of evening, ready to rest after their painted labors. We continue our slow progress through the hall, and we realize that we are smiling softly, filled with a quiet joy that comes from being exactly where we are meant to be, experiencing exactly what we are meant to experience. This perfect synthesis of art and architecture, light and reflection, history and present moment, all coming together to create an atmosphere of profound peace, drawing us ever deeper into relaxation, ever closer to the gentle threshold of sleep. We have nearly traversed the full length of the Hall of Mirrors now, and we find ourselves moving even more slowly, reluctant to leave this extraordinary space, wanting to hold on to every moment, every reflection, every gentle play of light. But there is no need to hurry, no need to worry about reaching the end. Time here moves differently, or perhaps it doesn't move at all. Perhaps we have stepped outside of time entirely, into a space where only beauty and peace exist, where the concerns of the world cannot reach us, where we are held in perfect safety by the accumulated grace of centuries. We pause once more, turning to face back the way we came, and the view is breathtaking. The entire length of the Hall of Mirrors stretches before us, mirror after mirror after mirror, receding into the distance, each one reflecting the others, creating that impossible sense of infinity, as though the hall goes on forever, as though we could walk for hours and never reach the beginning. The chandeliers form a line of golden lights down the center of the ceiling, each one reflected dozens of times in the mirrors, multiplying into hundreds of points of gentle radiance. The windows on the opposite side show the night sky repeatedly, frame after frame after frame of starlit darkness. And the combination of all this light and reflection creates a space that feels both vast and intimate, both infinite and embracing. We take a slow, deep breath, feeling our chest rise and fall, feeling the air move gently through our body. The air in the Hall of Mirrors smells faintly of beeswax from the candles, of old wood and stone, of the subtle perfume of age and history. These scents are comforting, grounding, connecting us to the physical reality of the palace, even as our minds drift into the dreamlike state that this beautiful space invites. We are so relaxed now, so peaceful, so completely at ease. Our shoulders have dropped, our jaw has softened, our breathing has become slow and deep and rhythmic. We are held by this place, cradled by its beauty, and we feel no need to resist, no need to think, no need to do anything but be here, present in this moment, surrendering to the gentle pull of peace that grows stronger with each passing second. We notice one final detail. On the floor beneath our feet, the parquet creates diamond patterns that seem to point the way forward, guiding us toward the next space, the next chapter of our journey through this quiet palace. But we are in no rush to move on. We stand here in the Hall of Mirrors, surrounded by 357 reflections of light and beauty, beneath a ceiling painted with stories of glory, now softened into dreams, beside windows that frame the peaceful night. And we allow ourselves to simply be, to simply breathe, to simply rest in this moment of perfect calm. The Hall of Mirrors has given us its gifts, the gift of beauty, the gift of wonder, the gift of infinite reflection that shows us that peace multiplies when it is reflected, that light grows brighter when it is shared, that serenity deepens when we allow ourselves to truly receive it. We are so deeply relaxed now, so calm, so ready to continue our journey through this sleeping palace, knowing that whatever comes next will be equally beautiful, equally peaceful, equally perfect for this quiet night. And so, with gratitude filling our hearts, with peace filling our minds, with light filling our awareness, we prepare to move forward once more, carrying the magic of the Hall of Mirrors with us, wrapped in its reflections, blessed by its beauty, held forever in the gentle embrace of its infinite, shimmering light. And so we pause here, in this magnificent expanse of light and reflection, allowing ourselves to simply be present in the Hall of Mirrors, to breathe in its beauty, to absorb its tranquil magic. There is no need to hurry, no need to move forward just yet. Here, in this space where history whispers and light dances, we can rest. We can simply exist in the gentle embrace of timeless beauty. The candlelight continues its soft flickering, each flame swaying gently as if moved by the breath of centuries past, casting warm golden light that travels across the polished surfaces, that climbs the marble pilasters, that reaches toward the painted heavens above. And the mirrors, those 357 mirrors, receive this light with quiet grace, reflecting it back and forth, creating pathways of illumination that seem to extend into infinity, into dimensions beyond this physical hall, into realms of pure luminescence and peace. We stand here, or perhaps we sit, or perhaps we simply float in this space between waking and dreaming, and we watch the light as it moves, as it shifts, as it plays across every surface with patient, unhurried elegance. The silence here is profound, a silence that feels sacred, a silence that holds within it all the sounds that have ever echoed through this hall, the rustle of silk gowns, the laughter of courtiers, the music of orchestras, the footsteps of kings, all of it now transformed into this perfect, peaceful quiet. And in this quiet, we find ourselves becoming part of the hall itself, our breathing synchronized with the flickering of the candles, our heartbeats slowing to match the timeless rhythm of this place. The reflections in the mirrors seem to multiply not just the light, but also the sense of calm, the feeling of serenity, so that with each reflection, peace is amplified, tranquility is deepened, and we sink further into a state of complete relaxation. The marble beneath our feet, or perhaps we are no longer aware of our feet, radiates a coolness that is somehow comforting, grounding us even as we feel ourselves becoming lighter, more ethereal, more like the light itself. The arched windows, 17 of them lining the western wall, frame the night beyond, where moonlight spills across the gardens in silvery streams, adding its gentle glow to the warm candlelight within, creating a harmony of illumination, a balance of warm and cool, of gold and silver, of earth and sky. And we breathe, slowly, deeply, drawing in the beauty of this moment, drawing in the peace of this place, and with each exhalation, we release any remaining tension, any lingering thoughts, allowing them to dissolve into the soft shadows between the candles, allowing them to be carried away on the gentle currents of light that flow through this magnificent space. Here in the Hall of Mirrors, time seems to have a different quality, a different texture. It moves more slowly, or perhaps it doesn't move at all, but rather circles back upon itself like the light in the mirrors, reflecting and re-reflecting, creating loops of luminous stillness. We have all the time we need here, all the time in the world, for this is a place where minutes and hours lose their meaning, where only the present moment exists, expanding outward in all directions, filling every corner of this vast hall with its gentle presence. The painted ceiling above us, that magnificent work depicting the glory of Louis XIV, the military victories, the diplomatic triumphs, seems now not like a proclamation of power, but rather like a meditation on beauty itself, on the human desire to create something lasting, something that transcends the ordinary, something that can bring peace and wonder to those who gaze upon it centuries later. And so we gaze, softly, without effort, allowing our eyes to drift across the painted clouds, the allegorical figures, the rich colors that have somehow retained their vibrancy through all these years, all these decades, all these centuries. The light from the chandeliers reaches upward, caressing these painted scenes with warmth, and in return, the ceiling seems to glow with its own inner radiance, as if the paint itself has absorbed centuries of candlelight and now releases it back in gentle waves of color. Azure blues, soft pinks, radiant golds, deep reds that have mellowed into the color of roses at sunset. And the mirrors, always the mirrors, reflect these colors, multiply them, create a symphony of hues that surrounds us, that envelops us in beauty so complete, so immersive, that we feel ourselves dissolving into it, becoming not just an observer of beauty, but part of beauty itself. The silence continues to deepen, growing richer, fuller, like velvet made of pure quiet. And within this silence, we can almost hear the whispers of the past, not as distinct sounds, but as feelings, as impressions, as the gentle echo of all the life that has moved through this space. We sense the presence of those grand balls, those glittering assemblies where candlelight gleamed on jewels and gold thread, where music filled the air and dancers moved in elegant patterns across this very floor. But these memories are soft now, gentle, like dreams half remembered, and they bring with them not excitement or energy, but rather a profound sense of peace, a recognition that all of that grandeur, all of that ceremony has settled now into this perfect stillness, this perfect calm. And we are grateful for this calm. We welcome it. We allow it to fill us completely. The candles continue their gentle dance, each flame a small miracle of light, a tiny sun burning with patient constancy, never rushing, never urgent, simply being, simply glowing, simply offering its warmth and radiance to the surrounding darkness. And we watch these flames, perhaps focusing on just one, seeing how it moves, how it sways, how it responds to air currents we cannot feel, creating patterns of light and shadow that shift and change with hypnotic rhythm. The flame is golden at its heart, then softens to amber at its edges, and at its very tip, there is sometimes a hint of blue, a cool note in the warm symphony. And this light travels outward, touching the silver of the candelabra, glinting off the crystal pendants of the chandeliers, sliding across the gilded frames of the mirrors, and then diving deep into the reflective glass, where it begins its infinite journey, bouncing from mirror to mirror, multiplying, dividing, creating galaxies of tiny light points that stretch away into distances that seem impossible within the physical dimensions of this hall. But the mirrors make their own space, their own dimension, and within them, infinity is possible, is real, is visible before our very eyes. We could count these reflections, trace the path of light from mirror to mirror, but there is no need for such effort, no need for analysis or understanding. It is enough to simply witness, to simply experience, to allow the eyes to rest on this display of light and reflection, without grasping, without holding, without needing anything to be different from exactly what it is. And as we release the need to understand or control, as we surrender to pure experience, we feel ourselves relaxing even more deeply, sinking into a state of consciousness that is peaceful, open, and utterly without tension. The reflections seem to include us now. We see ourselves multiplied in the mirrors, stretching away into the distance, and each reflection seems a little softer, a little more dreamlike, until we're not entirely sure which version of ourselves is the original, or if perhaps all versions are equally real, equally present, equally part of this moment. And this uncertainty brings not confusion, but rather a strange comfort, a sense of being connected to something larger than our individual self, of being part of the pattern, part of the light, part of the infinite reflections that fill this sacred space. The Hall of Mirrors holds us gently, like a parent holding a sleeping child, with tenderness, with protection, with unconditional acceptance. And now, in this deep stillness, in this profound quiet, we allow our awareness to expand even further, to encompass the entire hall, to feel the full dimensions of this space, its grand length stretching over 200 feet, its height reaching toward those painted heavens, its width perfectly proportioned to create a sense of both grandeur and harmony. This is a space designed to inspire awe, but the awe we feel now is quiet, meditative, a gentle wonder that soothes rather than excites, that calms rather than energizes. We sense the weight of history here, the accumulated presence of all the moments that have unfolded in this hall, the royal receptions where ambassadors were received, the treaty signings that changed the course of nations, the celebrations that marked births and marriages and victories. And yet, none of this history feels heavy or burdensome. Instead, it feels like a soft blanket of time, layers upon layers of human experience that have settled into the very walls, the very floor, the very air, creating an atmosphere rich with meaning, deep with significance, but peaceful, so peaceful. The echoes of the past are not demanding our attention. They are simply present, like old friends sitting quietly nearby, requiring nothing, offering everything. And we feel honored to be here, to stand in this place where so much has happened, where history was made, where beauty was cultivated and preserved. But we also feel that this moment, our moment right now, is just as important, just as valid, just as worthy of attention as any grand ball or royal ceremony. In this quiet night, in this solitary experience, we are connecting with the essence of this place, with its soul, with the spirit of beauty and artistry that transcends any single event or era. The mirrors reflect not just light but possibility, potential, the infinite ways that beauty can be perceived and experienced. The marble pilasters stand in patient witness, having seen everything, judging nothing, simply supporting the structure, holding the space, maintaining their elegant posts through centuries of change. The parquet floor beneath us has been polished by countless footsteps, has supported the weight of history, and now it supports us, stable, reliable, beautiful in its geometric precision, its patterns repeating with mathematical perfection, creating order, creating calm. And we breathe, and with each breath we draw in more of this peaceful energy, more of this tranquil beauty, more of this timeless serenity, and we feel ourselves becoming more relaxed, more peaceful, more completely at rest than we have perhaps ever been. And here, in this moment of perfect stillness, in this sanctuary of light and reflection, we allow ourselves to simply rest. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to accomplish. We are complete just as we are, here in the Hall of Mirrors, surrounded by beauty, held by history, embraced by peace. The candlelight continues its gentle flickering, a meditation on impermanence and presence, each flame burning in this exact moment, never the same from one second to the next, yet constant in its essential nature, constant in its offering of light. And the mirrors continue their patient work of reflection, never tiring, never ceasing, always receiving light and always giving it back, generous in their service, faithful in their purpose. We can learn from these mirrors, we can absorb their wisdom, the wisdom of receiving and reflecting, the wisdom of not holding on, but allowing everything to pass through, to be multiplied and shared rather than grasped and kept. And so we practice this now, receiving the beauty around us, allowing it to move through our awareness, reflecting it back to the universe, becoming conduits of light rather than containers, becoming part of the flow rather than obstacles in the stream. And this practice is effortless, natural, as easy as breathing, as simple as being. The profound quiet of the hall seems to have permeated our very being, so that we are no longer separate from this place, no longer visitors or observers, but integral parts of the scene, woven into the fabric of this moment, inseparable from the light and the reflections and the silence. Our thoughts have slowed, perhaps even stopped, replaced by pure awareness, pure presence, pure being. And in this state, we know a peace that goes beyond words, beyond description, beyond understanding, a peace that simply is, that has always been, that will always be, waiting here for us whenever we need it, whenever we remember to pause, to breathe, to allow ourselves to be held by beauty. The Hall of Mirrors has given us its gifts, the gift of reflection, the gift of multiplication, the gift of light meeting light in endless sacred repetition. And we receive these gifts with gratitude, with humility, with open hearts. And as we prepare, eventually, to move onward, to continue our gentle journey through this palace of peace, we know that we carry these gifts with us, that we carry this light within us, that we are forever changed, forever blessed, forever held in the infinite, gentle embrace of this timeless, luminous hall. And so, carrying this light within us, carrying this infinite peace, we begin to move, slowly, gently, toward the far windows of the Hall of Mirrors, drawn by something beyond the glass, something luminous and soft, something that calls to us like a whisper, like a promise of even deeper rest. Our footsteps are silent on the polished parquet, and as we approach, we see the moonlight streaming through the arcade windows, silvery and pure, casting gentle patterns across the floor, across the mirrors, across our path. The chandeliers behind us continue their quiet vigil, their candlelight warm and golden, but ahead, through these tall, elegant windows, we glimpse another world entirely, the gardens of Versailles, transformed by night into a realm of tranquility and shadow, bathed in the softest lunar glow. We pause at the first window, our hands perhaps resting lightly on the frame, our breath slowing, our hearts settling into the peaceful rhythm of this moment. Beyond the glass, the gardens stretch endlessly, it seems, geometric and graceful, their pathways lined with perfectly trimmed hedges, their fountains dark and still, their statues standing silent watch beneath the moon. Everything is quiet. Everything is calm. The world has softened into sleep, and we are invited to do the same, to let our eyes rest upon this gentle scene, to let our thoughts dissolve into the beauty and stillness that surrounds us, that holds us, that welcomes us into its embrace. The moon hangs low and full above the distant tree line, casting its pale light across the Grand Canal, across the parterres, across the gravel paths that seem to glow faintly in the darkness. There is no movement, no sound, only this profound and perfect stillness, this sense that time itself has paused, has drawn a soft breath and settled into peaceful rest. We feel ourselves settling too, our shoulders releasing, our jaw softening, our entire being relaxing into the quiet magic of this place. The gardens are ours alone tonight, to witness, to honor, to receive as a gift of peace. We move to the next window, and the next, drawn along by the gentle pull of the moonlight, by the quiet beauty that unfolds before us with each new perspective. From here, we can see the Latona fountain, its tiers of marble rising gracefully from the still water, its sculptures of gods and goddesses frozen in their eternal poses, their faces serene, their forms elegant and timeless. The water in the basin is smooth as glass, reflecting the moon, reflecting the stars, creating a mirror within a mirror, an echo of the hall behind us. There is something deeply soothing about this stillness, about the way the fountain that by day dances with joyful spray now rests, quiet and contemplative, holding the moonlight like a precious jewel. We let our gaze soften as we look upon it. Let our eyes trace the gentle curves of the marble, the delicate details of the sculpture, the perfect circle of the water's surface. Everything is balanced, everything is harmonious, and we feel that harmony entering us, calming us, aligning something deep within our own being with the peaceful order of this place. Beyond the fountain, the Grande Allée stretches toward the horizon, bordered by perfectly symmetrical trees, their branches dark silhouettes against the midnight blue sky. We imagine walking that path in our mind, walking slowly, peacefully, with the soft crunch of gravel beneath our feet, with the cool night air gentle on our face, with the moonlight guiding us forward, ever forward, into deeper and deeper peace. But we do not need to move. We are content here, at the window, observing, receiving, allowing the beauty to wash over us like a gentle tide, like a blessing, like a lullaby whispered by the palace itself. We feel the coolness of the glass if we rest our forehead against it, feel the solid presence of the palace walls around us, protecting us, sheltering us, holding us in this sacred space between waking and sleep. Our breathing is slow, and even now, our thoughts drifting like clouds across the moon, passing without effort, without attachment, leaving only the gentle awareness of this moment, this place, this profound and perfect calm. Another window, another view, and now we see the patterns of the parterre gardens below, their intricate designs of boxwood and flowers arranged in graceful scrolls and curves, like embroidery on the earth, like art drawn by patient, loving hands. By moonlight, these patterns take on an almost magical quality, the shadows and highlights creating depth and dimension, revealing the care and intention that shaped every line, every angle, every gentle curve. We could gaze upon these patterns forever, it seems, tracing them with our eyes, following the paths they suggest, the journeys they invite us to take through this landscape of dreams. There is something deeply restful about pattern and repetition, about the way our mind can settle into the rhythm of shape and form, can release its constant grasping and simply observe, simply be present with what is beautiful, what is harmonious, what is true. The hedges are dark green verging on black in the moonlight, their edges crisp and clear, their forms solid and reassuring. The gravel paths between them glow softly, almost luminous, as if lit from within by some gentle enchantment. And perhaps they are. Perhaps this entire place is enchanted tonight, transformed by the moon and the silence into something beyond the ordinary world, something that exists in the space between reality and dream, between history and eternity, between the palace and the stars. We feel ourselves drifting now, not physically, but inwardly, our consciousness becoming softer, gentler, more diffuse, like mist rising from the garden paths, like moonlight spreading across water. We are held by this place, supported by its beauty, cradled by its peace. There is nothing we need to do, nowhere we need to go, nothing we need to remember or plan or worry about. We are simply here, at the window, looking out over the gardens of Versailles on this quiet, moonlit night. And it is enough. It is more than enough. It is everything. The palace breathes around us, ancient and patient, having witnessed centuries of nights like this, centuries of moonlight on these same gardens, these same fountains, these same paths. We are part of that continuity, part of that endless, gentle flow of time and beauty, and we let ourselves surrender to it. Let ourselves be carried by it into deeper and deeper rest. We turn from the window now, slowly, gently, and find a place to rest within the Hall of Mirrors itself, perhaps on one of the benches along the wall, or simply standing in a quiet alcove, our back supported, our body at ease, our gaze still able to wander between the mirrors and the windows, between the candlelight and the moonlight, between the golden warmth within and the silvery peace without. Both worlds are ours now. Both realms hold us. We exist in a space of perfect balance, of gentle meeting between light and shadow, between history and dream, between waking and sleep. The mirrors continue their quiet magic, reflecting and re-reflecting, creating infinity within the finite walls, creating endlessness within this single sacred hall. The chandeliers glow softly, their candles burning low now, their light even gentler than before, even more conducive to rest, to release, to the gradual dimming of consciousness that leads to sleep. Through the windows, the gardens remain still and peaceful, the moon continuing its slow arc across the sky, the fountains holding their silence, the paths empty and serene. Everything is as it should be. Everything is in its proper place, and we too are exactly where we need to be, held in the embrace of this palace, this hall, this moment of perfect tranquility. We let our eyes grow heavy now, if they wish. We let our thoughts become slower, softer, less formed, like watercolors blending on wet paper, like music fading into silence, like day melting into night. There is no effort required, no striving, no attempt to force anything or make anything happen. Sleep will come when it comes, as naturally as moonlight, as inevitably as the tide. And until then, we rest here in this beautiful space, comfortable and safe, peaceful and calm, surrounded by centuries of art and beauty and grace. The painted ceiling above tells its stories, but we need not follow them now. The mirrors reflect their infinite light, but we need not trace it. We simply allow ourselves to be here, fully and completely, in this hall, in this palace, in this gentle, generous night. Our breathing is deep and slow. Our heart beats steadily, peacefully. Our body is heavy and relaxed, sinking into rest, sinking into the support beneath us, sinking into the profound peace that permeates every corner of this place, every moment of this experience. We are held, we are safe, we are home. And now, as we rest here in the Hall of Mirrors, in the Palace of Versailles, on this quiet, moonlit night, we allow ourselves to fully surrender to the peace that surrounds us, to the beauty that holds us, to the gentle invitation to sleep that whispers through the mirrors, through the moonlight, through the very air we breathe. The palace has opened itself to us, shared its secrets, its splendor, its profound and ancient calm. The gardens have shown us their nighttime face, their peaceful patterns, their silvery stillness. And now there is nothing left to do but rest, to sleep, to let ourselves drift into dreams as gently as moonlight drifts across water, as naturally as silence fills an empty hall. We feel ourselves letting go, releasing the day, releasing any lingering tension, releasing the need to be anywhere but here, to be anything but at peace. The Hall of Mirrors remains around us, its beauty unchanged, its light constant, its presence eternal. The moon continues its journey across the sky, bathing the gardens in its gentle glow. The fountains remain still, the paths remain empty, the hedges stand in their perfect patterns. Everything is well, everything is calm, everything invites us deeper into rest, deeper into peace, deeper into the soft, welcoming darkness of sleep. We allow our awareness to become smaller now, quieter, more intimate, until perhaps all that remains is the gentle sensation of breathing, of heartbeat, of the soft weight of our body at rest. Or perhaps even that fades, and we simply float, suspended in peace, held in beauty, cradled in the timeless, gentle presence of this place. The Palace of Versailles, with all its grandeur and history, has become our sanctuary tonight, our shelter, our place of perfect rest. And as we drift toward sleep, toward dreams, toward the deep renewal that comes with letting go, We carry with us the light of the chandeliers, the peace of the gardens, the infinite reflections of the mirrors, the blessing of beauty, the gift of this quiet, sacred night. Sleep comes now, gentle and welcome, natural and sweet, and we surrender to it completely, knowing we are held, knowing we are safe, knowing we rest in a place of wonder and grace. The Palace of Versailles watches over us. The moon blesses us. The mirrors reflect us infinitely into peace, and we sleep, we sleep, we sleep. Thank you for listening tonight. If this story helped you drift off, consider leaving a like and subscribing for more calming stories. Sweet dreams, and I'll see you next time.